What's up, guys? Mike with Cast here, coming to you from HQ. Got the glue drying, got the machines running, so I want to take a bit of time and show you guys how I drill my drum shells. And it's actually super easy. What I do is I just use this 5-axis CNC machine, and that's pretty much it. So stay tuned for the next one. Thanks, guys. Yeah, just kidding. It's actually a lot easier than that. First thing you're going to want to do is take the lug that you intend to drill, insert the screws, determine what size screws they are. These are M4, which are standard for most drum lugs. Sometimes you see an M5. And just chop the heads off with a pair of Leibniz pliers. You'll see why here in a second. Next thing you're going to want to do is take your 2 screws, take the side that you chopped the head off, take them to a bench grinder, sander, whatever you got, and just sharpen the head to a point. And be careful, because you mess your fingers up. See that? Got a nice point. The next thing you're going to want to do is take your drum shell, center it up on your layout mat, and mark your lug lines. And just be careful that you don't move the drum shell when you're doing this. Now you're going to want to take your square and determine the depth of the drum shell. This drum shell is 6.5 inches. So I want to make a center mark on this square. Come over to 3 1/4, make that center mark. Now take whatever lug you want to use and take the distance between the 2 points and divide that in half. This is a 3.5 inch tube, so half of that is 1 3/4, and I'm going to come out that distance from my center mark. Right here. And that's a lug mark. Now, go to your lug line that you determined from your layout mat and just trace a square line. Just like so. Now, this is the glory of using those center point screws for this. I only have to actually mark 1 point to establish the elevation of that lug. So, that's what you're left with. Next, take your pointed screws you made, thread them all the way into the lug, line that lug up on that elevation mark and the other end up on that plumb line, and just press it into the drum. You can see now I have 2 divots, and I'm going to use those with a pilot hole to get these spaced just right. Next, go to the drill press. I use a 1/16 pilot bit for this. Locate the dimple you created with that lug. Don't worry about any blowout. This is too small of a hole to cause blowout. Next, switch to a nice sharp step bit. And this is the most important part of drilling a lug in a wood shell is I'm going to drill this hole out around 1/16 inch bigger than the lug post itself. So I'm going to have a 32nd inch of slop all the way around that lug hole, which is really important when you're using a solid wood drum shell. You want to give a little bit of room for the wood to be able to expand and contract and not be an issue with that lug post. So here I go. When you're using a nice sharp step bit like this, blowout on the backside is not an issue. You don't even have to back the drum. Same goes for a horizontal or vertical drum. There they are. Now let's check our fit. Perfect every time, with just a small amount of slop in those holes to allow that wood to breathe slightly. And like I said, guys, these are just M4 screws, so a lot of these lugs take an M4 screw. Just make these, keep them in your toolbox, so whatever lug you're drilling just goes this easy. You don't have to mess around making a bunch of templates. Make some for bass drum spurs, some for floor tom brackets, and make every shell you drill spot on and just easy as can be. So hopefully you liked it. I'll come at you soon with another one.